Wow, YouTube continues to fail me. This is the last video I'm going to make for a little, like a couple days, so I can let all these digest. Excuse me. So just to let you know about that, because I know I made a shit ton in a row, and it's let them digest a little bit. This is a two-part video. The first response is to Junior Bacon Cheese, who I have not encountered before, but I wish I had, because he seems to be very intelligent, and that is a rarity on YouTube. A lot of people present themselves as intelligent, but they're not necessarily so. You're right. A lot of the things that I think do logically lead themselves to anarchy. You're absolutely right. That's why people ask me all the time why I'm not an anarchist. So I guess the best way to answer your question, or just to respond to what you said, would be for me to explain what I think we need a government for. All right. And a lot of the things I talk about, like printing money, I didn't say that to say that I think we need the government to control money. The only reason that I brought stuff like that up in the roads was to prove to people that you can't avoid force at some point. Because this whole idea that you can just, the state is the one that's causing force, I was just pointing out that you're going to have to use force at some point. That's all I meant by that. I didn't mean to say that the government is the only one that can do it. It's just pointing out that you will eventually come to the point where force is necessary. So the things that I think we need the government for would be basically defense. We need national defense. It might be cynical, but we have to have national defense. Until the rest of the world decides they don't need it either, we need to be defended. We need to have the capability to defend ourselves, and if the need arises, to project our power towards those who would threaten us. And they do exist, and I'm not talking about Iraq. But sometimes it needs to happen. And the defense budget is huge and bloated, and we don't need most of that shit. The fucking F-22 bullshit costs, like, I don't even know how much they cost, an ungodly amount. That we have F-15s and F-16s that are quite capable of competing with any Russian-made fighter out there on the market today. We don't need shit like that, but we need some form of defense. Secondly, is I think we need some form of social welfare at some point. I think everyone needs to have access to education. Everyone needs to have access, to help for certain shit. I think that's just the way it needs to be. And I don't think you would need to extort people for taxes. I would be willing to volunteer some of my money to that. I think most people would. And the only, some, like, for schooling, property tax isn't the only thing that pays for school. The lottery pays for school, a lot of it. Shit like that. I think that we need to have that. And thirdly, I think that we need some overall rule of law to control the whole area. We have to have that. We have to be able to guarantee civil rights to as many people as possible. Because if we let people just do whatever the fuck they want, you will find areas where people think it's okay to burn gays at the stake. And all kinds of crazy shit like that. And people are fucked up like that, and they'll try it. We have to have some way to guarantee rule of law. They don't have to be involved in business law and all that other shit. But for certain things, general crimes, we need to have an overall rule of law. That's why we have the Constitution. It guarantees everyone in the United States basic rights. And whether you like it or not, the Constitution is the reason why you and I are able to sit here right now and say whatever the fuck we want. You might think it's weird that this piece of paper does that, but, it really does. Us respecting this piece of paper does that. We need something like that. I think so. But everything else can be left to our own devices. I don't have a fucking problem with that. So that's what I think about that. Thank you for your polite response. I like polite people. The second part of this response is not nice, and it is to Acid Lizard Man. I don't know, I can't remember his whole fucking name because I don't fucking like him. I don't remember the names of people that I don't give a shit about. Well, obviously, I give a shit about what he said. I don't remember the names of people I don't like. Lizard Acid Man misinterprets what I say and what I said, and spews venom at me for like 10 minutes. I don't know what the fuck. He starts out by saying that there's some cognitive dissonance in me saying that I respect anarchists, and I think that they're intelligent, at least, the people that are doing it for, not just because it's some trend or whatever. But then I go on to say that they don't recognize the real world application, so I'm calling them stupid. I think there's some projection here for you, Lizard Man. I didn't fucking say that. You have a very skewed view of what intelligence is. Intelligence does not mean always being right. I don't know who fucking told you that, but that's not the way it works. There's a lot of very smart people whose ideas didn't pan out. That doesn't mean that they're stupid. Communism didn't pan out. Marx wasn't dumb. I don't think he was stupid. So don't put fucking words in my mouth to get people riled up against me, because I didn't say that. I think you're stupid. That's an insult at you. You can take that way. You are fucking dumb. But I don't think anarchists are stupid. So don't put fucking words in my mouth. You go on to attack me for saying that it would be chaos if we removed the government. And I didn't fucking say that. I said if you remove the government all at once and didn't do it gradually, you would create chaos. I think most people would agree with that. I'm not saying you couldn't remove the government. I never said that. I just said if you were to all of a sudden remove the government, there would be some fucking problems. Alright? So I don't know why the fuck you attack me about that. You talk about how, you don't really give a fuck about Social Security people that rely on Medicare and Social Security because, Chris, don't you realize that you're not going to get Social Security? Yeah, I fucking know that. I'm not stupid unlike you. I'm quite aware that I'm not going to see any of that Social Security money. Is that okay? Does that make it okay for me to take that away from the elderly people that rely on that shit to live and eat? Is it okay to remove Medicare all of a sudden from some old people just because, it goes with your views on politics? No. I don't think it's okay to condemn those people to death. So I'm sorry. You can go fuck yourself. And you have a problem with me saying that we need to help the veterans because, the veterans are these evil robots that go overseas to kill babies and shit. Go blow me with that super liberal anti-military bullshit, alright? You're fucking full of shit, and you should know it unless you're stupid. Those people don't dictate policy. The United States military doesn't decide where they're sent. Those fucking boys and women over there don't fucking make the decision about where they go. Alright, so fuck you. If anything, you should see them as victims of the system that you despise. Tricked by the evil corporate overlords into defending the evil democracy that wants to deflower all of our daughters forcefully. And all that shit. So if anything, you should see them as victims. But whether you fucking like it or not, the soldiers have, not now, not in Iraq, but they have protected us, and they have guaranteed our freedoms. They're the only reason that you are able to sit here and say the fucking shit that you want. Alright? The soldiers aren't demigods, and they don't need to be treated as some superhuman saviors of our souls. But to act like they're not necessary and that they're garbage, essentially, is fucking bullshit, and I take serious offense to that, Lizard Man. And finally, you go on to talk about, how, vote, you don't think it's okay for you to force your opinions on anybody or whatever. We'll ignore the fact that you're forcing statelessness on people that might not want it. But you say it's not okay for you to force your ideas on people. It's not okay for you to force law on people. You wouldn't do anything if someone killed somebody. They should just be let free. I mean, what the fuck are you saying? You say, voting doesn't make any sense. We'll compromise. Well, how are you going to compromise? Oh, we'll compromise. It's like saying, I'm going to build a house. Well, how are you going to do that? Oh, I'm going to build the house. You didn't answer the fucking question. You can't just say, we're going to compromise. Are you going to eliminate dissent? Are you going to crush it? Fuck you, okay? Lizard Man has all the answers. I am stupid, even though I never claimed to know everything, and I said I might be wrong. But Lizard Man is always right. All hail Lizard Man. Lizard Man is the greatest. He will decide what is best for us in his great, glorious, dissentless future under the rule of Lizard Man. Thank you very much for letting me bring this to your attention.